How do you think like Ayana Koji? How do you manipulate and dominate your prey like him? Is that even possible? Well, you've come to the right place. But before we go any further, there's something crucial you need to know. The information contained in this video is purely for entertainment purposes and should not be used to harm others. Now I know a lot of you guys want me to cover other characters, so rest assured, I got you fam. Step 1. Master emotional control. Before you can think like Ayana Koji, you need to be able to control your emotions like Ayana Koji. But why? Because the lack of emotional control can negatively impact your well-being and decision making. For example, anger leads to impatience, which results in rash decision making, and excitement leads to an impulsive nature, which could result in biased decision making. But Ayana Koji has mastered emotional control, which in turn gave him the necessary skills to read other people's emotions as well, allowing him to exploit any weaknesses. Let's break down a quick example of this. We're in episode 5 of season 1. Sakura is afraid of testifying in Pseudo's favor because she's embarrassed that people will find out she basically has an OnlyFans. So what does Ayana Koji do? He exploits her guilt and shy nature by telling her that she already knows what to do. This fools her into thinking that the decision is in her own hands, but really he'd already made the decision for her. You see, what Ayana Koji has truly done here is to plant a seed of regret in her mind, leaving her with no option but to testify in Pseudo's favor. Step 2. Exploit people's weaknesses. Ayana Koji is brilliant at finding a person's weakness and using it to get what he wants. He pays very close attention to your unconscious behavior, like what you laugh at, or how you dress, or even how you respond in different situations. And he uses all this information to find the person's emotional void. Let's watch this on display real quick. We're in episode 3 of season 1. Ayana Koji invites Kushida to tag along on a quest to acquire previous exam questions. Ayana Koji starts by casting his eyes throughout the whole cafeteria until he finds his target. But why him? Because this dude literally shows signs of the most typical emotional void: discontent. Look at him, he's sitting alone, unhappy about the food he's eating, with no friends to talk to. Bruh, this will be easy for Ayana Koji. Anyways, they decide to strike a bargain with this guy. So Ayana Koji tells him, "Yo, I need your help bro." The dude's like, what? Then Ayana Koji's like, "I need those past papers man. I'll give you 10,000 points so you can go cop yourself an actual meal." And he's like, "Hex nah, you must be tripping my guy." And in this moment we realize why Ayana Koji brought Kushida along, as she steps in and completely brainwashes this dude. And eventually he succumbs to his lust and desperation, and they ultimately agree to an acceptable deal. Now I've said it before and I'll say it again, Ayana Koji is a very dangerous guy. Step 3. Learn how to make deductions. What's a deduction? A deduction is when you draw logical conclusions based on information you've acquired. This is something Ayana Koji does very well. Through the use of critical thinking, he is able to assess and evaluate information, allowing him to draw connections between premises and determine the validity of his hypothesis. So how do I do that? This topic right here is very extensive and broad, but for the purposes of this video, I'll try and keep it short. First, you need to learn to observe your surroundings, and I mean really become aware of your surroundings. I suggest reading a book called The Deduction Guide if you really want to gain a full understanding of this technique. Secondly, you need to learn how to observe a person's demeanor. Observe their what? Their demeanor, which is basically their outward behavior. For example, someone who's always laughing and smiling expresses a happy demeanor, and someone who's always moping or crying expresses a sad demeanor. Lastly, use the process of elimination. Once you've eliminated the impossible, whatever remains, no matter how improbable, it must be the truth. This is a famous line by Sherlock Holmes, and it really helps in making the most informed guess possible, especially in situations where you don't have enough information to reach a concrete solution. Step 4. Use people's goals against them. Early in season 1, Horikita makes the grave mistake of letting Ayano Koji know about her goal of rising to class A. But why is this bad? Because now Ayano Koji can use this to guilt trip her into doing whatever he wants. In fact, let's see how he puts this into action. It's episode 4. Sudo is on the verge of expulsion and everyone decides to help except Horikita, who believes she has nothing to gain from helping Sudo. But since Ayano Koji knows her goal, he says, yo, you do know losing Sudo could come with some serious repercussions, right? Like what if an expulsion results in demerits we aren't aware of? And just like that, he's got her to cooperate. So if you enjoyed this video or found it useful in any way, be sure to Warhammer smash that like button and subscribe to join the Spartan army. And until next time guys, peace.